Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 1991 here with another comic book review where today I'm going to be talking about Iron Man, the story arc known as Stark Wars. Also the story arc is known as the Armor Wars because that's how it appeared in the first in its original trade collection. In this case, I'm going to be reviewing the Epic Collection edition of it as part of Marvel's line as Epic Collection. And honestly, this edition is a little better because you don't just get the actual Stark Wars story arc, but you do get the issues that acted as a prologue to it in this book as well. Although it is pretty thick, but it is worth it. Now, let's get into the story. Basically, the story is that when Tony Stark is analyzing armor used by the former supervillain known as Force, he discovers that the armor's attack circuitry is based off of the circuitry he used in the Iron Man armor. And investigating this even further, Tony finds out that the circuitry design was stolen by Spy Master, who's working for Justin Hammer, who subsequently used it and sold it to various supervillains who'd buy it on the black market. And so, at first, Tony tries to pursue all this legally, trying to get, going through legal channels, lawyers, trying to figure out trying to prove that the design is his, it was stolen. Ultimately, that goes nowhere. All the lawyers just basically say, we could do this, but you're looking at maybe a trial date like 30 years from now. So Tony finally just says, screw it, I'll deal with it myself, and decides to go after every single armor warrior, good or bad, who is using the same circuitry based off the one Hammer stole from him, and invents a device known as a negator pack that would not only take down the armor, but it would destroy and corrode the circuitry completely. However, Tony's actions don't go unnoticed. He's earning, while he's going around taking out every single armored opponent who is on the list that he got from Hammer. He ends up getting a lot of heat from the Avengers, Captain America, and S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah, that's in a nutshell what the story is. Overall, I enjoyed this a lot. This story was terrific at showing how far Tony is willing to go to take responsibility for his actions, even if those actions are going to be questioned by all of his friends and certain powerful individuals. I do recommend that this is a great story to read right after watching the Civil War movie, because I feel like that we got the same Tony Stark, and the way Tony acts in this story is the same way he acted in Civil War, this Tony Stark is more focused on taking responsibility for the things he's created. In this book, it's the armor circuitry, and in the movie, it was Ultron. And I really like that side of Tony because it shows how he's changed from in the very beginning. Before he was Iron Man, he didn't care about anyone. He just wanted to design weapons, make money. Now he's really becoming more responsible. He's thinking about how his designs are starting to hurt people, so he wants to make it right. And if he's the cause of the problem, he knows that he has to be the one to be the solution too. Also, the story was, I know I'm covering it up here, but this was also, I believe, the last major story arc that featured the regular appearance of Tony's Silver Centurion armor, because by the end of the story arc, of course, Tony's got to invent a brand new Iron Man suit, and when he does, he goes back to the classic colors, red and gold. All right, yeah, and I did mention earlier that the Epic Collection edition does feature the prologue issues that kind of led up to this, and some of those issues do feature, and most of the prologue issues do feature how Tony acquired Force's armor, and also it features the first appearance of a notable Iron Man foe known as the Ghost. So yeah, overall, I think if you like Iron Man and if you just saw Civil War and you love the way Robert Downey Jr. portrayed Tony Stark in that movie, I would highly recommend you pick up this story arc. I think I've seen a lot of lists that talk about best Iron Man comics. Usually Armor Wars or Stark Wars or whatever you want to call it, it's usually very high on the list. I agree, it's a very good story arc, and I definitely recommend you pick up Stark Wars. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you again for watching this video. Thank you for checking out my other videos, watching them, sharing them. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, whether you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber. I appreciate the support. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.